Go.
Hey everybody, it's another Wednesday at 11 a.m. I already messed that up. Pacific time. And yes, we're back for another episode of NTNA. So get cozy, get a drink, get a fuzzy blanket, or get, comfortable with your client. Who knows where you're watching us. And we'll be back in a minute for today's episode.
Coupa is proud to introduce Coupa Base Coat, a superior adhesive between nail plate and gel products without damage to the natural nail. Also, Coupa High Gloss and Coupa Matte Top Coats, both no wipe, an excellent sealer, and last 2 to 4 weeks. Now we have the Trio Pack, which include both high gloss and matte top coats and a free base coat. For more information, call 1-800-994-5872 or www.coupainc.com. Coupa is proud to announce 2 new additions to the Manny Pro Passport family, introducing My Prince and My Princess, complete with an acetone-resistant control box and your choice of the KP60 or KP55 handpiece, with speeds up to 30,000 RPMs. For more information, call 1-800-994-5872 or visit us online at www.coupainc.com.
Colors and patterns help us express ourselves, show the world who we are. Sometimes I wake up and I feel girly. Sometimes I'm flirty. Sometimes I feel free. But most days, I just feel like me. Show the world who you want to be. Color me curious.
Hey everybody, and welcome to another episode of the NTNA Recap Show. Thank you so much for tuning in. I am your host, Elaine Watson. I am Executive Vice President of Coupa Incorporated, and I am joined by Beth Livesey, Executive Editor of Nails Magazine.
True. Hi, good morning, everyone.
It really hit me this week doing the production for the show.
We're almost done.
Like we're dwindling. Whenever I do my notes, my production notes, I'm going to share this with the viewers, I always use the graphic of, here, I'll show this camera, the graphic from week to week. And I changed the how many people here to let my team know how many we're down to. And this week I went to write 3, but it felt unnatural because we're not really at the final 3.
Exactly.
We're 3 plus 2 in the lab.
Right. And if you caught Ashton Harlan's Facebook Live this week, I do like how she said that people were not understanding.
Right.
They're like, well, aren't you in the top 3? Like, you made it. And she's like, no, not quite yet. So this poor girl is like having to explain on Facebook Live.
It felt too awkward to write just 3, so I put 3 plus 2.
3 plus 2 is correct.
That's my new
3 and
way
a
of
half.
doing it.
3 and a half. Yeah.
So I can't believe how far we've come.
I know it went by fast, but I feel like the contestants probably don't agree.
I know, I feel sorry for them, but I don't want it ending.
Yeah. Well, I need a break.
You do. I know. I just have to deliver the news.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
So, speaking of delivering the news, what is the NTNA?
Yeah, so thank you for tuning in to our news broadcast. Nail's Next Top Nail Artist is actually big news in the nail world, right? It's the only online nail art competition for professionals. So each week it's elimination rounds, right? It's like Project Runway or like your favorite reality TV show like Chopped, like Cupcake Wars. Well, maybe not like Cupcake Wars. They're on teams. But anyway, so each week we're getting rid of a contestant and a contestant is winning. Each week is sponsored by a major nail manufacturer. So Coupa, for example, is one of our weekly sponsors. And so when we get down to the final 3, so not 3 plus 2, the final 3, in a couple weeks, those 3 women will be flown to Premier Orlando, and we will name our winner in front of 600 people at the Nails NTNA social that kicks off June 1st, the night before the Premier Orlando show. So the biggest show in the nail industry starts off with a huge party for the winner of this competition, and they're going to go on to do fabulous things. They're going to win a trophy from Swarovski, a cash prize. They're going to be guest editor of Nails magazine for a whole year, and they're going to get to go to Fashion Week with CND. And who knows what other opportunities they could get. So
Valerie joined Team Coupa.
she did, and she works with On Vogue.
Like Valerie was last year's. If you don't know, Valerie was last year's winner.
She got to go to Fashion Week and do really, really cool nails. So she did nails for Jan Arnold. So I mean, like, you can do anything.
It's life-changing.
It is life-changing, for sure.
I have news to do before we get into the recap. Because Beth mentioned it, you know, there is the NTNA Awards in Orlando along with the networking event. And the tickets are now on sale.
Yes.
So you need to go, not right now, after the show.
Good point.
To nailsmag.com/NTNA Social 2019.
Yes.
And that's where you can purchase your tickets. Better do it now, though, because there is a cap.
We do have to cap it because of the fire
regulations.
We
have like 600 people left.
So 600 is all we can
so don't wait.
Yeah.
And then I have a fun Coupa announcement.
I would love to hear that.
If people have been paying attention to our social media, we're now running a teaser. And it ran at the opener of this. We have a little commercial. But yeah, you're going to want to tune in on May 29th at 11 a.m. Pacific time for our big announcement, which we're calling our Coupa keynote.
Totally.
So it's huge.
I'm excited, actually.
I'm excited and nervous. Like,
of course.
I've been in this industry since 1994.
Wow.
Like, I was 2. And since 1994, and even all of my years in manufacturing, this to me is like the biggest
cool.
of my career.
Cool.
Of my company I represent, but like for me too, this is our biggest announcement.
I'm excited.
So if that hasn't tickled anybody,
I'm excited.
Now you gotta wait till May 29th.
Yeah.
So, all right. So we have to recap last week. We have winners. We have, Design Lab. But let's remind the viewers what was last week's challenge and sponsor.
Yeah. So last week's challenge was actually one of my favorites of the season. It was sponsored by Gel 2, and it was called Creative Eruption. So basically, La Palm, which is Gel 2's sister brand, released the Volcano Spa pedicure in a box. And so because they had that big release this year, they asked our top 4 at the time to show us Hawaiian-themed nail art across 10 nail tips, and they had to have a volcano. And
I thought it was cool.
I feel like we weren't disappointed last week.
I think it like I said last week, as a brand, as a sponsor, they couldn't have had a better representation of their new product. That was cool.
Yeah,
Very
good idea. Good idea.
So we have a top 2.
We do.
Out of it. Very exciting top 2. Ashton Harlan and Nixie Rose.
Congrats, girls. Good job.
And they were really good.
Those 2 were really, really, really great.
Not that they all weren't, but like you can only pick 2 of your top 2.
Yeah, because the top is dwindling. At the beginning, we had room for 3 at the top, and now we're down to top 2. And no one was safe last week.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That's scary.
It's a brutal one.
So our winner last week was
Nixie Rose.
Yay.
Congrats, Nixie.
I loved her cocktails.
I did too. I know. Did you drink a Mai Tai?
I didn't have a Mai Tai, but I drank.
Didn't either. I only drink those in Hawaii. I don't drink those.
I know. Here. It's like, it is. It's a tropical thing.
It is.
I only do those rum drinks like in the Caribbean.
Agreed.
I know.
Agreed. Yeah,
it should be an everyday drink. So we have comments though from all the judges.
Yes. So guest judge So Young Yu, who was our sponsor Gel 2's judge, said that Nixie utilized every aspect of the volcano spa pedicure and showcases it in a creative manner along with the active volcano. Completely agree. I think we all said that last week.
That was done deal.
Yes. Our season 5 champion, Valerie, who we've been talking about, says, wow, your cocktails look so appetizing. And Valerie likes the sweeter cocktails. So I believe that she did think that looked appetizing. The texture of your pineapple and coconut are realistic. I want to see more and more. I know, you know what, if Nixie would make a whole bar, like I'd be down with that.
Yeah.
Head judge Jan Arnold, our top sponsor CND, said, this is simply delightful. We want to go to your Hawaii. I do too. The theme, level of detail, and use of product and color doesn't get any better. Everything was so great. The Waterford glass, coconut, Cosmo glass, it all looked so real. Please teach us next time. You showed us all kinds of great techniques, but didn't bring us in. And that's a common Jan critique.
That's a common Nixie critique.
Yeah.
I think I've heard it a few times.
I know Valerie likes saying that too. Yeah. Nails art director Yuiko, who's watching, hi Yuiko, said, as usual, love her all-around creativity. The beachside scene of palm trees and cocktails come to life with great attention to detail. The coconut is too cute. Every cocktail is built with precision and intricate texturing. The way she incorporated every element of the spa kit into every cocktail is genius.
Yeah.
Good tutorial, but the camera seems to jump every now and then, so watch out for its positioning.
Yeah. Good. That's a good comment, actually.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's hard because you're trying to keep it over what you're working on.
I know.
And it's in the way.
I know. I understand that.
Tough.
Yeah.
So that was our winner.
Yes.
And of course, we're down to it. And so we had one person we had to send to the CND Design Lab.
Yes.
And that was
Kelsey. And, you know, again, really sad because at this point we're sending people who've won challenges home. And so Kelsey's, a winner. She's already a winner. And she had to go to Design Lab, but you know what? It's all right.
Doesn't mean she's out of it.
No,
she still could
Kelsey's
end up in Orlando.
Full of surprises.
She is full of surprises. Yeah. And tune in for the rest of this broadcast because at the end we're going to say who is she up against in this challenge now because we have, of course, an elimination still going on in the Design Lab. Yeah. So, and now this week, we have Wildflowers as the sponsor of this week's challenge.
Yes.
And, of course, guest judge would, of course, have to be the owner of Wildflowers.
The one and only.
Amazing artist, Lauren Wireman.
The one and only Lauren Wireman. I mean, we just love Lauren. She has a special place in our hearts at Nails Magazine and with NTNA because she came from our first season.
Yeah.
She was the first runner-up. We didn't know who she was until she did NTNA, and I remember we were all saying, this girl is crazy.
Yeah.
This girl is crazy. And now look at her. Yeah. She's sponsoring.
My first meeting of Lauren was on the set of Nailed It.
Yeah.
As a judge, Lauren was a competitor. So my introduction into Lauren and her amazing abilities was as judging her on the TV show Nailed It. And she made it to the top 2.
Right.
And while I've always said this, while she didn't win, the money that she took from winning those challenges and then getting the second spot, what she did earn, put into starting her business.
Yeah.
And look, now she has an incredibly well done
Everyone
business.
uses Wildflowers.
Bravo. I love happy endings. Not that this is an ending, but she's a nail tech.
Yeah.
She owns a company.
Yeah.
She's a woman.
Yeah.
Go girl.
Yeah.
So tell us about this very intricate very intricate challenge.
Yes, so Lauren, obviously having done this competition before, really knew what she was asking for. And also, her spot as the penultimate challenge, so the last one before the finals, she knows it's her responsibility to weed out and from the top 3 to the top 2. So this challenge had to be very, very intricate because the people who place in the top 2 from this challenge are guaranteed a spot to Premier Orlando. They get that plane ticket, they get the condo, they get to go for sure. So a lot rides on this challenge. So it couldn't just be a walk in the park. So it's called Another Dimension. And it's based off of one of Wildflower's most popular art classes, which is called Dimension Art. So Dimension Art is flat art that pops like 3D. And a great example of this is the street artist David Zinn, who this challenge is sort of inspired by. So Lauren asked that the contestants create a mixed media mural across 10 nail tips, packed with as much dimension and optical illusion as possible, inspired by Mr. Zen. So they not only had to make that piece of artwork, right? They had to use the 10 tips that Wildflowers provided them with. They could fuse them together, but they couldn't flatten more than 75% of the surface. They had to use Wildflowers art paste, pop-up gel, and any medium for the flat painting. Embellishments were allowed. The overall project couldn't exceed more than 1 centimeter in thickness. They were permitted to cut the edges to change the overall shape of the project. And the design had to be original, so no character art or anything like that. They had to send us of course, the videos and the photo, but they also had to post a 1 to 2 minute time-lapse video on Instagram. So if you go to Instagram at Nails Magazine, we're reposting each of those. You can also go to Wildflowers Nail Shop or Wildflowers Nails, or each of the contestants' Instagram pages. You'll see those time-lapse videos. And then if that wasn't enough, they had to go live. They had to go live on the Wildflowers Facebook page. And again, if you go to facebook.com/nailsmag, we're reposting each of those live videos. So Lauren asked for at least 5 minutes of their time, kind of describing their artistic process for coming up with these designs. So these girls completed a video this week, a time-lapse video, and a live video on top of this amazing creation.
A lot of work.
Each submitted. It's a lot of work, and I'm just so proud. They each turned everything in on time, and they did it.
Yeah, because
congratulations.
Also, not turning something in could be the difference between staying and going.
Life
too.
or death.
At this point, you
Life
can't.
or death.
Yeah, you can't skip anything.
Yeah.
David Zen is probably, I'm going to say, my second favorite street artist after
cool.
Banksy.
Yeah, Banksy.
And I clearly like that style of, you know, I don't know, like a bush. There's a little bush there, but they turn it into like the whiskers of something. Or you got to look them up. If you have no idea who David Zen is or Banksy, go look them up because they are really cool art.
I have a really fun side story about this. So Lauren contacted David Zen and told him about this. So, and I noticed the girls tagged him on Instagram, but he's aware. He's aware of this challenge.
That's
so
cool.
Really cool. So, so hopefully he looked at all the entries. He said he couldn't wait to see them.
That's
so,
neat.
Yeah, it's really awesome.
Smart.
Yeah.
So smart. So our first contestant, of course, is Ashton Harlan.
Yes.
I did my Snoopy Snoops this week, and I have a little theme going because they all seem to have posted these text posts. So hers said, "So tired, I just dipped my sushi into bourbon instead of soy sauce. It was not good."
I actually, because I think I commented on this. I was like,
did.
that sounds like the right way to do it. I don't know. Sounds good to me,
That sounded
Ashton.
good to me. And there's even a theme on this, and I think... No, it'll be in Design Lab, one of the Design Lab girls. So there's a drinking theme going on too, clearly. Before we look at Ashton's work, let's go to Ashton's video and we'll come back and talk about it.
Hey everyone! For the 10th challenge of Next Top Nail Artist, Wildflowers asked us to create a design inspired by David Zen's 3D street art. We were to create a hand-painted mural with lots of dimension and lots of optical illusion. Begin by outlining the major elements of your design using brown gel paint. This is probably the hardest part because you have to paint the nails from the angle that they'll be photographed. Otherwise, you won't get really crisp lines and your design at the end will end up looking warped. So check your work often to make sure that everything is staying in line. Because this challenge is all about optical illusions, I decided to create my wood panels to look as though they're overlapped. Shading is such an important part to creating optical illusions, so I painted the top portion of the panels with a lighter brown, and then switched to a darker shade of brown for the sides and an even darker shade for the underneath. Once you've completed this step, re-outline the panels, and then add texture to the wood. Once complete, outline the windows with gold gel paint, and outline the gold with black. The inspiration for my design was shipwreck mythology, so I wanted it to look like water was coming in through the floor. After painting the water with blue gel polish, use the white pop-up gel along the water's edge. Then use the black pop-up gel to add shading along the walls and the edge of the water. Then looking out my ship's windows, I wanted to create another illusion that they've reached the edge of the world. I also wanted this huge waterfall to connect to the water that's coming into the ship, as a way of tying the dimensions together. By keeping the darker colors in the falls and at the horizon, and using white along the edge of the waterfall, it creates that cliff-like effect. Then I painted some rocks and a ship on the surface of the water so that their shadows could help add to the illusion. I created my kraken by rolling out lace paste over my sketch in between plastic bags, but we'll come back to this technique in a minute. I wanted my giant octopus to be super colorful, so after sectioning off the parts of its body, I randomly applied bright yellow, red, and purple gel paints. Apply all the colors before curing so that you can easily blend them together. And then after curing, I added in a little bit of neon orange pigment powder. And again, use black pop-up gel to add a little bit of shading. To give the octopus some texture, paint over it with white pop-up gel, and then dab with acetone to break up the product. And after you've covered the entire surface of the octopus, add some more shading and paint the eyes. Then paint the underside of the arms, and create suction cups using white pop-up gel. I created the mermaid the same way I created the octopus, by rolling the art paste in between plastic bags and using my sketch as a guide. If you roll out the product too much, you can press it back into shape with the back of your brush. And then after curing, I sharpen up the shape with an E-file before attaching them to the nails. I lined up the mermaid to be coming in through both windows to tie together all of the dimensions. Once you're finished painting the mermaid, add shadows underneath her head and tail and underneath the octopus to really make them stand out from the background. Then for the final piece of my design, I wanted to create a moving element, so I made a little compass and attached it to the base of the nails. And here it is. If you enjoyed this video, please like and subscribe. Thanks for watching.
So she had an interesting take on delivering a Davidson-ish.
Right. So dimensions.
Yeah.
So, and I feel like Ashton is the one going into this challenge. I had the highest expectations for her because all season she's shown us a lot of shading work.
Yeah.
Right. She likes shading, and in her Facebook Live, she was kind of going over shading, and that was kind of her tip. So she shows us like the corners of A, the ship, and
Yeah.
B, the corners of the edge of the earth, right? That
Yeah.
falling off the earth illusion, and then like the flood of the water
Coming on under
coming
the
up.
ship.
Yeah. So, you know, I feel like Ashton is good at these female figures, right? Like
Yeah.
the hula girl, like
She
the
knows she can do
mermaid.
girls.
She can do the cool hair. She can do a lifelike face. She can do this mythical, and I like the inspiration here.
Yeah.
You know, I
It's
like
cool.
that. And she went through on her Facebook Live. You know, like she thought of like an illusion, like, you know, like she went through
How
it
she
like
mapped it
line
all
by
out.
line.
Yeah.
Like this is where her
Yeah.
mind went. Yeah, I mean, you know,
And even like, you know, she could have just done a wall of wood.
She could
chose
have.
to do it
The
so
angle.
that, or I'll do it towards
Right.
the camera so that it kind of does that.
right.
So she upped the difficulty of the wood by
Right.
doing that.
And she still did brave some 3D because the octopus and the compass are technically not flat, but they're less than the 1 centimeter.
Right. She kept it really
She
low.
rolled it.
Yeah.
She rolled the material.
It's cool watching her work with that paste on the...
It is
like
really
it really is thick.
Cool.
Yeah, it's very Play-Doh.
Yeah. I feel like just looking at this piece, I can tell it's Ashton.
Yeah, me too.
It's so Ashton.
Yeah.
I do want to say for each of the competitors, and I will give you all your, this week since there's only 3 of you, I'll give you all your notes. But I really liked the Facebook Live each contestant did this week.
Yeah.
And I liked it because they were all nervous. But I feel like, Ashton, like you looked so great. To me,
so
you
pretty.
didn't look nervous. You looked very effortless. I love how you kind of like mapped your thinking. Like you showed us all how you think, how you get from point A to point B. I like how you showed the piece on like a different light on the live video. For me, I kind of liked seeing that the light hit it in a different way rather than like a white photo. But yeah, I just thought you guys were all so great and professional, and how you complimented everybody who watched. Like Ashton shouts out to Carly. I just thought it was really sweet. And she goes, I'm on Vegas time, because Ashton is more of a night owl. And she's used to it. She works later hours because she works in Vegas. So I thought, Ashton, your time lapse and this video, they're also professional. You're good at really showing us clean videos.
Yeah. She's getting a lot of good comments in the Koopa chat. Like Karen Berryman, one of our top fans, said, love the entire creation, each step as beautiful as the next, and her technique was amazing. Nancy Moore says, I want that on my wall. We have people who are sneaking off of work to watch.
Ooh, I won't tell anybody.
Really good comments, but I wouldn't expect anything but good comments, because like we're down to incredible top artists now on all of these. So yeah, I think it's a beautiful piece. I think it was a cool play on it. I think, like you said, she always does beautiful people. Show what you're good at. She can't ever go wrong with doing a person. That's for sure. I can't do people. I get Picasso face. So that's Ashton.
All right.
Good luck, Ashton. We have Carly Sneer, and her post on Facebook was another, like, it's a text. So she goes, so let me just take a minute to live in the moment.
Good job.
Of being in the literal, actual top 3.
Yes.
This is not final. There is still one more week and one more elimination
They all had
round.
to explain it. Bless them.
Still.
Bless them.
Yeah. And I love that she took that moment and said that.
Take that moment, because even Carly was saying in our chat, because I was like, oh, this went fast. And she goes, yeah, now that it's here, it went fast. But during the challenges, it didn't.
Not for them.
So so you all need to take a moment, and I do just want to say again, like, how proud and impressed I am of these 3 women. Like, take that moment. Take more than one moment.
Oh, nail friend of mine, Tori Bastian, is in our chat, and I know she's so nice. I love Tori. She actually made a really good comment that I wanted to say. She says the wood creates the illusion to disguise the tips. On Ashton's piece,
that's true.
I'm going back because you kind of do lose the fact that there's a bumpy surface there because her illusion hit it, and I thought that was a good comment I wanted to share. Back to Carly though. So I love that you took that moment, Carly, because you people should live in the moment.
Yes, absolutely.
And right straight to the end of it, especially on award night. Well, that night goes by like that.
Right, and this is the farthest you can go in the competition, like in the regular place. So you've all made it the furthest. You're on Ashton's nails at that edge. Like we're about to go one way or the other. So you've all made it. So congratulations.
So let's run Carly's video because it's super cute.
Hey, Carly Snar here, and we're back with another week of Nail's Next Top Nail Artist. This is Challenge 10, Another Dimension. This week's challenge was sponsored by Wildflowers Nail Academy. And we were to be inspired by David Zinn, a guy who does some sidewalk chalk street art. And this is some more of my inspiration that I pulled for my piece. Oh, who's that? So to get started on my nails, you glue them all together, paint them yellow, and start by painting the outline of a Jan Arnold. So just get started with the basic layers. I'm going to also add this honeycomb shape in there and paint that white. Put a thin black line of wet gel paint and feather that out with the lime green Wildflowers fading brush. and paint Jan's hair a slightly lighter color yellow. And same with the hands, just do the original outline. While that polish is still wet, you can use that shading brush to go ahead and like feather out each line to really give shading around the fingers. Then we're gonna go ahead and add all these little individual pieces of hair and shade around the head and in the hair to make it look realistic. And go in and paint teeth. And on the hexagon area, I'm going to make that shifted a little bit upward so that it really creates like a weird illusion to look like she's really like had layers of her face peeled out. Then we're going to add little details in the eyes, and again, while that gel polish is still wet, you can feather out with this shading brush. And I just put a little bit of black gel paint on the lips, and I'm going to go ahead and shade those in to fill them in with color. I use this technique all over on this set. It was just super easy to do with that brush. So then on the top layers of these little hexagon shapes in the inside of the face where it's white, you're going to really shade in certain areas of the hexagons to make it look like it's sunken in on a different level, and the yellow part of the face is more raised up. Then Jan is gonna have some pretty gold metallic nails, a nice honey gold, and then you're gonna want to take a detailing brush and add white shine marks on there. Then using the Wildflowers lace paste, all I had to do was grab a little ball or a chunk of this white lace paste. You can roll it just like Play-Doh, and then I use my fingers with gloves on a lot to do a lot of the sculpting for this. If not, I also use the silicone tools, and if they're ever seem like they're sticking in the product, you can just wet them with a little bit of alcohol. But you don't run it too wet, just like touched with alcohol. And put all these little pieces of the bee together and paint her yellow. Add the detailing onto the wings and add stripes onto the bee, and you can just go ahead and feather and fade those down using that fabulous fading brush. And then I'm gonna go around, and you're gonna wanna outline the whole outside of the beehive and kind of going in between each nail tip to really make it look like it's ribbed and really 3D, and super tediously go in there and shade each one of those little cracks. And this hexagon is going to look like it's even on top of the top layer of the face. Then Jan is going to, of course, have some nice diamond bling earrings. And I'm going to make these little drips. First, just start by hand painting them, and then go in and take that little brush. And I learned this technique from Lauren in one of her classes. Sometimes it helps to go while you're fading, because it really just puts in perspective how lightly you have to tap. So sometimes when you're tapping, you just want to go tap, 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 tap. And then I want to cover the whole set with matte top coat. And then this part's so fun. I'm gonna drip honey down the top of the beehive. And by doing this, I'm just gonna literally dump this clear yellow gel polish on the nails and flash cure with the Wildflowers LED flashlight in between every time so it didn't drip down too far. This is it, guys. This is the last challenge for voting. Please follow me on social media at c.a.r.manny. Go vote. Thank you guys so much for following me on this journey and watching my videos. Bye.
So this piece for me, I felt more Davidson than Ashton's piece. Just being opinionated. Yeah. I'm not judging. I'm opinionated.
Right.
Because she looked at those tips glued together and went, that looks like a beehive.
Yeah. Yeah.
And then she took the bumps of the tips and did, like, to me, what David Zinn would do. He would look at a sidewalk and see a little bush growing through it and turn it into a mustache on a cartoon character or something. So I feel like she looked at the shape of the tips and then went, this is what they are, and this is what I can turn them into with what I've got.
Yeah.
And that was, I thought it was really cool, and the fact that she did Jan.
Yeah,
As
well,
always,
I mean,
kudos.
Yeah, I mean, I think
Brownie points.
I think it's so cool that the optical illusion of like the hexagon cutout of Jan's face, you know, and you have to have some guts to cut out Jan's face,
right?
But she does it artistically, she does it tastefully, she gives us a point of view, and then that drip at the top
that was cute,
was
the honey.
so satisfying to watch. And then the diamond earrings, she gives Jan nails, and she's very careful to point out, and she emailed me after the fact, the bees do not measure more than 1 centimeter. She was like, I made them, they're flat, but they're 2D, but they're flat.
Yep. You could tell as she's making them, they were flat.
Yeah,
she pressed them
they're
out.
fine. And then I loved on her Facebook Live, she showed us that rough draft she did.
Yeah.
Where she was going to test, she tested the drip, she tested working with the lace paste.
Yeah.
And she was going to do a cat.
She was going to do a cat reaching.
Yeah. And I just wanted, back to your comment, like, I think you made the right decision, Carly. I mean, we know you can do a cat. We love seeing your cat. But you took these nails and you said it looks like a beehive. And then playing with like a limited color palette here. I thought that was so brave. And yellow. Yellow is not
hardest.
Typical, right?
It wouldn't even be like a great complexion color, but she's done it.
Yellow, black and white. Like I was just blown away.
Even, she did a good job too of offsetting Jan's face.
Yes.
You know, because where the white is one level.
Right.
And then where the beehive is a different level. And so you have to offset the teeth, the lips, the eye.
Right.
She did a really good job of it.
Right, and I feel like there's some universality here, right? Like Jan is the queen bee. She is the queen bee. And I love that the 3 bees represent the 3 girls. And you know, I thought this was, cute. Something anyone
it's very thought out.
Yeah, anyone in the industry would look at this and go like, "Oh, yeah, it's Jan. Jan likes art. Like this is an artistic piece." Like I just thought there was a lot of appeal here. I think this is one of Carly's best this season.
Me too.
I'm really proud of this.
Yeah. And I think this is their best submission.
And again, your Facebook Live was really great. You're so professional. You're so fun. Your energy is so good. And like I said, I'll give you all your individual comments, but I just enjoyed watching you work. Yeah.
I'm getting lots of great comments.
Yeah. We're doing well here. Danielle says she agrees about the color choice. Danielle Candido. There was a great deal of thought put into this piece. I agree. And I mean, we saw it with that rough draft. You know, she changed her mind, which I think is brave. You have to be brave enough to change your mind, even when the stakes are high. Yeah,
Karen Berryman is saying she looks so, she looks so much like Jan. So you can see that it's Jan in there.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. Phyllis Carlson, love the bee. How will the judges be able to determine the height requirements on Ashton and Carly's pieces? Is a good question because this is an online competition.
Yeah, but I think in the lives they do a good job of showing like Ashton picks up her piece, Nixie picks up her. Well, Nixie shows the measuring.
Yep.
But I think with Carly's too, like you're seeing the pieces live and up front, so I think you get a sense.
Yeah. Like, when you're doing 3 videos on them,
that's true.
You can't get away with it when you're moving it around.
Right.
Well done, Carly.
Good job, Carly.
And then our last submission, Nixie Rose. And her, this was cute, I thought. Her friends are finding out when she wins before she does.
That's what she said. She said she's the last person to know.
I leave my phone for 5 minutes and it looks like I've won another challenge, ! Exclamation point. Thanks for the 15 billion notifications, guys. I'm always the last to know.
That's what she said.
Like her tribe of, friends and loved ones and everything are so watching to see did she win that they're finding out before her.
Well, and she's at work and she's in the UK, so her time zone
difference
is completely off from ours when we would typically tell them, when I would typically notify them.
Yeah.
So she says she puts her phone in her drawer and works on clients all day, and she's like, I don't know until I'm done, until I get a break.
Oh my gosh. I feel like opening that drawer and checking every minute.
She's a good
She's
worker.
so cool.
Yeah.
Stop being so
good
cool.
Worker bee.
Let's watch her video, which to me, before we started, just the even beginning like I've been, like I said, I've been a fan of Banksy and David Zim, but like this, I learned a lot at the beginning of this video. So let's watch this.
Yeah.
Hi guys, welcome to Challenge 10 of Next Top Nail Artist Season 6. This week is sponsored by Wildflowers and the title is Another Dimension. So this week we have been challenged to create an optical illusion inspired by the street art of David Zinn's. Our piece must be created along 10 nail tips using Wildflowers art paste and pop-up gel and look 3D, although it can't actually be any higher than 1 centimetre. David Zinn creates 2D work that when viewed from a certain angle looks as though it's 3D. So I'm going to get stuck right in and explain to you how this process works. So this here is my sort of rough gingerbread house sketch, and because it is flat on the table like this and not parallel to the camera, you can see that these lines here are kind of merging off into a point in the background, and that is how perspective works. So to make this look as though it's sort of bursting out of the page, we need to try and counteract that perspective. So these lines that are like this need to be more like this. So this is all very complicated, and to be honest it gives me a headache, but we're going to roll with it and see what happens. So because we want it to look upright, we need to measure it out as though it is upright, if that makes sense. So I've got the perfect tool for this, and that is a shellac box. Thank you, Jan Arnold. So I'm going to pop that here, and I've already marked out on the side sort of marking so that I can measure. So this line here is 4 centimetres, and it doesn't matter if the box is like this or like this, as long as this corner matches up with this corner. So I'm going to put that there, and then we're going to recreate this wall edge here. So 4 centimetres, it's going to be really tricky. If I mark it on the paper, is about there. So this larger outline here is now my new design, and it is starting to sort of take form and look as though it's coming out of the page. But if I show you from above, it looks really mad. So once I got to grips with the concept, I needed to plan what I was actually going to draw. So I took to Facebook and asked my friends and family which objects reminded them of me. And with friends like these, I mean, who needs enemies? But some of the nicer comments were things such as frogs, bright lipstick, leopard print, skulls, and gingerbread, because my own home salon is decorated like my very own little gingerbread house. Creating a 3D optical illusion on a flat surface is hard enough, but trying to add it onto my nail tips was almost impossible. So eventually I came up with the idea of actually projecting it onto the tips by using a clear sheet of Perspex. I used a broken tray that I managed to salvage, and then tracing the design onto it and projecting it onto the nail tips using a torch, and then I could trace around it. So once I'd finished tracing out my design onto the tips, I added a few details using the Wildflowers art paste, which created quite a cool 3D relief effect. Some areas that were a bit tricky to build up with the art paste, I used Wildflowers pop-up gel instead, and I could apply that in layers, curing between each one, and it quickly gave quite a raised or textured effect. So by laying the piece down flat on my desk and looking at it from a low angle, I could see that it was sort of starting to take shape and look as though it was sort of popping up out of the table. But I thought I'd enhance this by cutting away some of the background, and then it was a case of just building up the layers of colour to finish the piece. So as always, I hope you've enjoyed this video, and thank you for watching.
I actually, this this was a great video. Like I said to
It
Beth
was.
behind the scenes, when I was watching this video, I swear I was kind of like, you know, the whole thing. Nancy Moore in here said it. Ouch, my brain hurts.
Yeah.
I watched her explain it, and I visually see it, but I still have no idea what the hell she did.
Right.
Like I wouldn't be able to do it myself without a few YouTube videos and a math class.
Well, Madison in my chat says, Nixie, you amaze me constantly. You're so intelligent and incredible. Everything you do just wows me. Like, so cool. And even Carly, Nixie is so technically advanced. She's so smart.
Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, Nixie, talk about putting thought into it.
She did it true to him.
Yeah, she did.
You know, I keep saying about the bushes for different elements of the art, but when he takes a picture, whatever he's worked into the building or the sidewalk or something looks like it's coming at you or whatever.
Right.
And it's really just this weird
She's
stretched out thing.
She's mindful of the perception and the angle you have to look at to get the piece, and then the mathematics of it, of measuring the shellac bottle to measure.
I know,
pretty great.
And it's a 3D thing.
Exactly.
So she's mapping it out with something that's standing
3D.
up right at the camera.
Yeah, exactly.
It's genius.
And I have to. Oh, sorry.
No, I was just gonna say, and you can actually see it because she showed, you know, like she tips her artwork to show you the stretched out frog and
Yeah, and I have to sell her Facebook Live for a second. Watch that Facebook Live for a great laugh. I laughed so hard. She has a great little surprise guest.
Yeah, she has a surprise guest and tells the surprise guest that she doesn't take walk-ins. You should make an appointment.
Nixie is appointment
Oh my God, it made
only.
me laugh. And the surprise guest comes back, and I would like to applaud her. I would have, you know, put an end to that special guest.
Not Nixie.
She's so loving, and she's such an animal person.
Yeah.
Like, she's got the frogs. And
Yeah.
everything. She escorted the special guest out, but then the guest came back.
Yeah, and I thought you were really brave, Nixie, to crowdsource. Because she was like, I asked people on Facebook what they thought of me, and that's how I got what I did for the art. And I'm just like, I love that she says, like, who needs enemies? Like, and she shows all the comments. And I think, I can see in this piece, like, how this is you, right? We got, like, some Halloween, some frogs, some candy corn. I love that your salon is gingerbread. I wish you would have showed more.
Yeah,
in your
we
life.
were saying that. I want to see the salon inside of your salon space because I want to see how you've decorated it. Like, I'm sure it's amazing.
And again, just continuing my praise for the top 3 because it's absolutely genuine. I'm not just saying this because it's the last week. Nixie, your Facebook Live was so great. And again, she was telling me, like, I'm so nervous about this. But
it was great.
I thought
She's
you were
so cute.
So lovely.
Yeah.
You were funny. You were smart. Like,
engaging.
You were engaging. Like, I thought you did a wonderful job. I thought it was near perfect. Like,
I thought they did great.
The Facebook Lives went really
They were very entertaining, and really, honestly, if you have not watched them, you have to go watch them.
Please.
Especially, you know, to see these little tidbits that we've mentioned because they were so good and so entertaining. And it is not hard. Not easy. It's really hard to get on camera all by yourself.
Right, and these 3 don't do that often, especially now because they're busy working.
Yeah.
And this whole time they've been editing videos, so they haven't been getting critiques or feedback on how to be live on camera.
When you're live alone on a Facebook Live.
Yeah.
It's a monologue. You are engaging the person without conversation with another human. You're just talking to the crowd. That's tough to do.
And you talk about how much work you have to do to do this show.
Yeah.
So can you imagine, like, getting told you have 10 days, do your first Facebook, like, so they had to do that, all the work to make these pieces, then the work to prepare for that. So, we know it. I get it. I thought they did a tremendous job.
Yeah, very cool. I think you all did. I'm sucking on a cough drop. Now I've gone and crunched a piece off and I can't even talk because it's in the way. I think you've all done a really great job and you should all be very proud of yourselves.
I agree.
I am so happy I am not in the judging panel of this final 3 because it's such a weighty decision.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know?
This is a tough one, but hey, if you're watching, you can help us. You can help me. You can help Jan. You can help Lauren. Go vote. NTNA.nailsmag.com. You have till tomorrow at 11 a.m. Pacific Standard Time to vote for these 3 girls. You can vote for all of them. You can vote for your favorite. But you gotta vote because we can only take 2 at this point.
Yeah.
To Orlando, and Jan's gonna decide the last person who goes.
And so one of these three will end up in the design lab.
Yes.
And they're going to be joined by this week's winner of the lab between Ashley and Emily, right?
Kelsey.
Kelsey.
Kelsey and
No, because Kelsey's still in it. We know Kelsey's in it. I mean, the winner. I'm about to announce Emily was the winner.
Yes.
Of this last one,
Got it.
Which was against Ashley.
Got it.
And so congratulations. We have that slide up right now.
Congrats.
The comic strip nail.
Yes, congrats, Emily.
Awesome.
Yes.
Love it. So essentially, you're right. Now, Emily is in it against who we've said was Kelsey from last week.
Correct.
So the winner of this will be up against one of those three.
Yes.
So we're down to it. This is
Yes.
So next week when we're on the show next week, it's really going to just be about this final lab challenge.
Yes. The one that will determine it
This
all.
will be a nail biter. Because
Yeah.
as soon as the winners are announced this week, 2 people are going to know they've made it to Orlando.
2 people can start packing their bags.
And then the other one still has to get past the winner
have one job left
between
to do.
Emily and
Yeah.
Kelsey.
Yeah.
Oh my God, it makes me nervous for them.
I'm starting to get a little nervous too.
I get nervous too. So let's talk about Emily Nash. She was the other one I said about we have a little drinking thing going on. I loved this post that she had on her Facebook. She says, finding myself at the bar way more than normal since starting this competition.
And I think I liked that one too. I think I was like, yep.
It was good.
Me too.
Welcome to the club. And then Kelsey's was so cute because to me now Kelsey has established a style for me.
Yeah.
And this is so right up her style. She goes, my feelings after being eliminated. Kidding, but it's like you, check. You've dishonored yourself, check. Your family, check. And your cow. Because it makes no sense that you've dishonored your cow, but it's that heavy. You've dishonored the cow.
Right.
Thought it was so cute. That is so her. So we have their challenges this week.
Yes.
So what was this theme?
Okay. So because Jill 2's challenge was all about a volcano, what this week's last chance challenge was because, a volcano, when it erupts, can bring diamonds to the surface.
Oh.
So Jan said she wanted them both to make a diamond. And that's all she said. So they could kind of do whatever they wanted. And I like how they both took, these volcanic interpretations with them. They didn't just make us a big bling or a big engagement ring. They made us these
Emily's
rocky,
got a full-on
textured, dark. But it's not just that, it's a cooler. They're cooler versions. They're not your normal diamonds.
No.
Yeah.
They're beautiful.
Yeah.
We have the singles of these images, and Emily Nash's. It looks like it's cute. It could be an engagement
From the fires, from the
fires.
depths. Yeah.
Yep. She's got volcanic rock. She's got lava, and then she has the full on. She did the whole setting.
Yeah,
That's
and
cool.
then Kelsey was kind of talking about how many people lose their lives trying to get diamonds. So she did a skull, which I thought was kind of dark, but also kind of beautiful. And you can see that the skull is faceted.
It's really
cool.
So
she took the time to make it look more like a
cool
diamond.
too that she chose to use a tinted. We don't get to see a video on these, so I only have this one picture to go off of. But essentially, to me, it looks like she used a tinted gel to make the rose rather than doing your standard. It's cool that she went with more of a clear, translucent gel tinted.
Right. And I guess Kelsey's iPad is still broken. The poor thing.
No.
I guess she couldn't even have done a video if she wanted to.
So she's lucky she didn't have to.
I know. That's true. That's
Poor
true.
girl.
Yeah.
So make sure you tune in, of course, next week to find out who's going to win between Emily and Kelsey, because then we're going to find out who they're going up against for that last spot.
For the longest week of someone's life.
Oh my
Yeah,
God.
absolutely.
I don't even know. And so it's straight on Jan's.
It's
vote.
all on Jen. So that's the
That's tough
perk.
too. Whew.
It is, but I think she, likes it.
Jan's down for it.
But at least as long as it's not on me. That's all I care. That's all I care
She's
about.
gonna be the dream maker and the dream crusher, all in
dream
one.
taker.
All in one.
Yeah.
That's a
So
lot of
so this is your
responsibility.
last chance to vote before Premier Orlando. So
Yeah.
Yeah.
So next week we'll definitely be talking about either Emily or Kelsey versus the third place winner of this week's challenge.
Mm-hmm.
Yikes. Yeah, so that's it for, I feel like now we have so little to we were going
Think
through
about
12
next week.
people now.
Yeah,
We just
think
have
about
that
next
many.
week. Yeah.
I do want to remind everybody that Nail-Olympia is going to be in Orlando as well. So if you've never competed and you want to compete, this would be a great place to do it. Come compete, be at the show, go to the NTNA award ceremony, come for the Nails Magazine networking event. Make sure that you go to nailsmag.com/NTNA Social 2019. Go get that ticket now. Super important. May 29th, make sure that you tune in here at 11 a.m. for Koopa's mega huge announcement of my entire career life of our company. You don't want to miss it. What else? I think, you can also go to nailsmag.com and check out the TV guide, because now we're going to start getting into what are those extra episodes.
We're going to be updating it after today.
Yeah, we need to decide like who's on first, what's on second, and I don't know what's on third.
Right.
Yeah, so that's it. That's our broadcast today.
Thank you so
much for tuning in.
To the top
Yeah,
three.
congrats. Good luck.
Yeah.
I'll be holding my breath waiting for the computer to update who the winners are.
That's what they do.
Yeah. See you next week.
Bye.
Colors and patterns help us express ourselves, show the world who we are. Sometimes I wake up and I feel girly. Sometimes I'm flirty. Sometimes I feel free. But most days I just feel like me. Show the world who you want to be. Color me curious. Join us May 29th on our Facebook page for the big reveal.